Mistakes you've made while owning your business. Where do I start? I'm essentially looked at as the main breadwinner, main money earner. I took out a phone bill in my ex's name. A massive apology to people out there who are of size 14 to 16. How are you managing work? What does Spencer do? How did you get a mortgage as a YouTuber? Lots of people actually wanted to know this one. Hello honeys, of course, as I start filming, there is a lovely little works going on outside. Anyway, hi, if you're new here, welcome. My name's Imogen. Thank you so much for finding me. I don't know how you found me, but please definitely stay. Today, I am going to be answering questions I've never answered before for any of you new here or just anyone returning. You guys asked me some questions over on Instagram and I wanted to just have a little sit down, chit chat, Q&A for Saturday. Yeah, I upload every Tuesdays and I upload every Tuesday and every Saturday. So I'm just gonna kickstart with the questions. I've written them down in my notes because your baby honey would not, you know, when people literally go through and just choose them, I feel like I wouldn't choose the right ones. I wouldn't get the best, do you know what I mean? Right, here we go. Let's start easy because the other ones are quite hard hitting. Do you still feel like Imogen now you're a mum? 100%. I know that a lot of people say you lose yourself. And at the very beginning, I was really, it was more about my clothes rather than who I was. I guess that is kind of who I was. I really didn't know how to dress, and that's not saying like mums have to dress a certain way, because we as women, we as mums, we as whoever we are, can wear whatever we want. But I was in between sizes, so I didn't fit any of my maternity clothes and I wasn't back in my old clothes. And I was like, shall I buy loads of clothes to fit me now? But then my body's gonna keep changing, and breastfeeding was a journey and I was leaking constantly and I'd ruin any clothes I was in, and postpartum was a whole other thing, and I really didn't know who I was meant to be then. I really didn't know who I was meant to be. Like obviously I was mum and I did feel like I didn't know how to get back to Imogen doing YouTube, but I genuinely believe we just go through on journeys in our lives, like certain phases of our lives. You have to ride out that wave and you have to ride out that phase. And for me, it was just letting my body do its thing, letting my baby be the priority because she needed to be the priority. And now I really feel like I've got me back. I feel like having Renalia was my life purpose. Like I genuinely believe I was put on this earth. I know it sounds silly, but that's what I feel. I feel like I've found what I'm good at. Like I know that sounds silly, but like loving her comes so naturally and so easily. And obviously I'm not perfect. I don't know what I'm doing as a mum. I'm blagging it. I'm getting through it. I know how to parent Renalia better than anyone else knows how to parent Renalia because she's my daughter and she's mine. But that's not saying that I know exactly what I'm doing. But I feel like, is that her now? I always feel like I'm on high alert. Oh my God. When she wakes up in the middle of the night, I cannot get back to sleep because I literally feel like I'm like a lion watching my cub. Like I'm like, she needs to be okay. Is she asleep? And any tiny little thing I hear, I'm on edge. But yeah, I do genuinely believe like I've got back to being me now. And I know that that can't be said for a lot of different people going through postpartum and being a mum. And, you know, who's to say in a year I still won't. I don't know. I don't know. I could go through here and then come back down here. But where I'm at in my life right now, I feel very grateful. I feel very grateful for everything I have. And yeah, I'm in a really positive place at the moment, really positive space. So yeah, I am feeling like Imogen. Like, I just feel like I haven't necessarily lost out because I feel like I got everything done before I became a mum. Not that people feel like they lose out, but there are certain things that, you know, you have to be selfless when you're a parent. Like I've given up a lot of different things by being a parent because she will always be my priority. Like yesterday we went to London and I was sat on the train and I said to Spencer, gone are the days where we used to sit on the train, listen to a podcast, put my AirPods in, listen to music and do my makeup. Like now it's making sure she's fed, making sure she's entertained. She was so bored on the train journey. Thank God for 2 of my subscribers on the way there because they kept her entertained. They were brilliant. She loved them. She was smiling, happy as Larry. On the way home, she was tired. We would lay her down, play with her. No, wants to get up, throw all of her toys on the floor. We're sterilising all the bloody toys, even though obviously I know they get germs, but you know, just doing what we can. And then making sure she's you know, she's fed, so she's feeding on me. Then we're sitting her up, then we've played her a little bit of Beauty and the Beast, like some songs to play to her, to keep her entertained. We had to get up, stand on the carriages, bounce her. And that's just my child. I know that a lot of people can go and sit in a coffee shop and their baby will sit in the pram for 2 hours and be happy as anything. Renalia isn't like that. Renalia is very much me as a baby. Apparently I was just like that. And I think my parents definitely put it out there that I was going to have a little girl first, because when I was younger, they always used to say to me, you wait till you have a little girl, I hope she's just like you and you can see what you put us through. But I feel very lucky in my phase of life. I feel like I'm very fortunate as to where I am, and I feel like I've got patience that my parents probably didn't have the capability to have because of where they were in their life. But Renalia's an amazing character and every baby's different, and yeah, so you have to give up so many things being a parent, but I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. Like, I don't drink and don't go out, so I got that all done in my 20s. Not that you can't do that as a parent, obviously you can, but for me, the parent I want to be and the parent I am, I don't envisage myself going out for a night out clubbing, because I don't enjoy that anymore. Like, I'm 29. Obviously me and Spencer need to have more date nights, and that will come as she gets older, but at the moment we're like, yeah, how we parent her is how we parent her. No judgment to anyone else, but I don't like leaving her, you know, at the moment. Obviously she goes with my dad for like 2 hours, my mum, that's happened once, and I'm just gonna say it happens loads, but it's only happened once. But yeah, anyway, I don't feel like I've changed much. I feel like I'm very much still me. Just feel like my heart's expanded even more so because my heart's grown for her. Like, I genuinely thought my heart would explode from the level of love that I feel for her. Crazy, I know. Okay. How did you get a mortgage as a YouTuber? Lots of people actually wanted to know this one. Being self-employed, there's a massive taboo subject around money and around finances and things like that. And I've got another question like that coming later. It was actually a struggle getting a mortgage as a YouTuber. It was my first mortgage. I had no real credit because paying for my phone monthly and my car monthly wasn't really enough for them. I took out a phone bill in my ex's name however many years ago, and it was a rolling contract, and it just continued to roll. He then walked away from that and left me in like, I don't know, but I remember coming home from London because all the notes and all the letters would come to my dad's house, and that's because he walked away from the contract, but it was in my name. So note to yourselves out there, future plan for you. Obviously I'm in a different place now with Spencer. Like, everything we own is shared and we are a team, and I trust him with my whole entire life. But back then I was young, naive, silly, thought I was gonna spend the rest of my life with him, very silly enough, and took out a phone contract. That was a little sort of note against my name. I didn't get a mortgage rejected because of it. I actually got a mortgage rejected because of my income of being a YouTuber. So it was very much like, you're self-employed, we won't give you a mortgage. And actually my mortgage advisor was amazing. He really, really worked hard, went back and appealed it, and then we got it, which was amazing. But it was, we nearly lost this house. Like, we would come here every Sunday. We would drive up here every Sunday because we were like, oh my God, this is like the house we want to like live in first. This is the house we want to have a family in first. Like, all these things. And we'd come up here every Sunday and look at the house, like different times of the day and different times of, yeah. And we just really, really wanted to like manifest this as our dream. And I really do believe that hope. Like, we went to another mortgage advisor because we were like, can you help us get this mortgage? Like, we're going to lose this house. And basically the guy who was selling this house, his mum, who owned the house, had gone into a care home, and he needed the money from the sale of this house to help her with the care home because care homes are so expensive. So he really needed a quick sale, and we weren't the quickest of sales. However, now talking to other people, like, this was a quick turnaround. But I think he needed it ASAP, Rocky. And yeah, like, our neighbours were telling us he was coming to the house being like, I don't know what to do because they're a lovely young couple, but I need the money. And we had to sort of blag it a bit. We were like, can we pay extra for the house? We were literally so desperate to keep this house. And luckily the mortgage came through. And yeah, and we didn't, yeah, it was just, yeah, we didn't get a survey in the end. We've had a survey now, but we didn't get a survey in the end. My dad walked around it. My dad did building. So my dad walked around it and sort of went up to everywhere and sort of checked as such. And it's not an old house, but we had to basically say, we won't do a survey because we want this house so badly. Let's just run it through really quickly. So yeah, that's how we had to get this house. And it was a struggle getting a mortgage as a YouTuber, getting a YouTuber a mortgage. It was definitely a struggle, but it was so worth it and it was amazing. And I think we need to talk more about money. And I think that's something I really want to talk more about in like a couple of weeks, like about in a vlog and stuff, because just talking about money I think is really important in life because we're not educated enough on it. Like, I didn't learn any of this stuff at school. I didn't learn about credit. I didn't learn about mortgages. I didn't learn about business. I didn't know about being self-employed and taxes and all those different things. I didn't. And as much as it's well and good teaching us like, you know, x equals minus b plus or minus the square root of 2a over 4ac or whatever it is, you know, and Pythagoras, let's be honest, where has that got me? That hasn't done anything for me. And I did my maths A level a year early. Like, I needed that level of all this stuff. And I think that we'd have more successful entrepreneurs if we spoke about money more. Anyway, sorry, I'm going off topic, but yeah, it was a struggle. So there you go. But that's all well and good. It's all fun and games. I'm just getting the next question. I'm not being rude, by the way. Just looking down. I always find that I worry about that. Okay. Is Renalia in her cot? I'm struggling to get my 8-month-old in hers. Renalia is actually in her cot. We got to a really good point where she'd rolled over on her front and she was really happy on her front. She's always been rolling, like, not always, obviously. Oh, Spencer's back. She's not always been rolling, but obviously when she first started rolling, she didn't then roll in her snooze pod because it was too small for her. Now in her cot, she likes to roll. But now, and she loved sleeping on her front. That was her happy space. Sleeping on her front was amazing. She was like, yes, I'm good to go, mum. I'm here. I'm sleeping on my front. And she was really good then. However, now, obviously we're in different developmental leaps. She might be fighting something. She's teething, lots of different things. Obviously, as a parent, you have to understand that it literally goes like this. And I understand that. But yes, she is in her cot. However, now she doesn't want to be on her front. She wants me to flip her over and then she won't sleep for as long. But anyway, swings and roundabouts. She'll go back on her front soon. So yes, she is in her cot. We transitioned that obviously at 6 months, just a little bit before actually, because we were finding that we were waking Renalia up. Like every time we'd get into bed at night, if we'd even flick a light switch on in the hallway and open the door, she would wake up. She was such a light sleeper. She's in that really light phase of sleep. And let's say like we went to the toilet, we couldn't flush the chain because she would wake up. So we phased that out for her more so. I found it really hard and I've slept on the floor a lot of times in her room when I've, you know, woken up with her in the night and stuff. And obviously her nursery is like next to the spare room more so. So we slept in the spare room while we were transitioning to be close to her, but I can hear her like that. It doesn't matter whether I'm in the deepest of sleeps. I can literally go and I'll hear her. Like even like a groan or a moan. I'm on it like that. And I wish I wasn't, because sometimes she's just stirring and I wake up and then I can't get back to sleep. Like I don't know about anyone else, but I literally will be awake and then that's it. I can't get back to sleep. Like last night I was awake for like 4 hours. She would wake up every half an hour and then go back to sleep for half an hour. Those half an hours I can't fall back asleep in. I need like an hour and 10 minutes and I need to be able to be cuddling Spencer to sleep, and then sometimes I don't want to wake him up with my cold hand. I woke him up last night at 2:30, then he was awake with me with her till about 3:30, then he went straight back to sleep. And I was like, I wish I could go straight back to sleep, but I just can't. Okay, next question. How are you managing work? What does Spencer do? So I have answered this in the past, however, I feel like it's dated, and also I feel like loads of new people here don't know what my husband does, because every time I go on a TikTok live, I literally get the questions like, what does Spencer do for a living? So I think it's really interesting to talk about. And I also think that, funny, I was speaking to someone this morning on a Zoom call, and they were saying to me how, I'm gonna ask you the question, if Spencer was the YouTuber and I was at home with him, would you guys question what I do for a living? Would you? I just want to know. I feel like it's really interesting. So let me know in the comment section below. If the boot was on the other foot and I was at home with Spencer and he was the essentially looked at as the main breadwinner, main money earner, would you guys ask what I do, or would you just assume I'm a stay-at-home mom? Or I just want to know. I think it's really interesting because I get a lot of questions about Spencer working for and with me. So obviously part of my job is YouTube, so it's an incredible role that I get to do, and that's all because of you guys. And Spencer is pivotal in me creating YouTube videos because right now Renalia is asleep, and that's fine. But lots of the time I need Spencer to be with Renalia, helping me, because obviously I'm not going out to work, I'm living at home and working at home where my daughter is. And I went back to work, what, 3 weeks after, or 2 weeks? 2 weeks or a month after she was born. So because of being self-employed, and obviously maternity leave, etc., is non-existent when you're self-employed essentially. So I need that help, otherwise I'd have to pay for someone to look after our child. And actually Spencer was a barber before, and financial wise it's so much better for him to be at home to help me. But that's not the end of it. Like, he has to help me film YouTube content. He does my Instagram stories for me sometimes when I've got brand deals to go up. He helps film my brand deals. He helps take my photos for Instagram, TikTok lives, TikTok things I'm doing. Obviously I don't earn money through TikTok lives or TikTok at the moment. I will earn money through TikTok when I do brand deals. So when I do brand deals, that's something that I need to be filming. So all of this stuff is very much a partnership. We are a complete team. You know, I know this sounds silly, but keeping on top of the house is something which I can't physically do sometimes. Being a mum and also working, I also can't do that as well. You know, I can't make sure that all of the honey store orders are sent out. We don't have a fulfillment centre yet. We were going to go with one. However, that's another story. So Spencer does all the orders for my brand, the honey store. My brand, our brand now. He speaks with the manufacturers. He speaks with the designer. He's in constant chat. This house is essentially part of the job. You know, he is building this house. That was nothing to do with me. So that's a massive role in itself. Property. He was ripping walls down. He was talking to all of the trades. He was doing all of that. So the list of job that Spencer actually does is actually endless. The level of work. He also has an Instagram where he gets some paid work through our management company. So he does brand deals sometimes as well, which is him bringing in extra money. So yeah, we're definitely a partnership. We own half the company together. It's very much half of us each together. Essentially, yes, okay, I do have more of the role in the sense that the YouTube's on me, and the Instagram and TikTok's on me and stuff like that. But he adds so much more behind the scenes that, like, I know it sounds silly, getting everything ready to film while I'm feeding Renalia, making sure that all of my stuff's loaded off onto the laptop. He edits for me sometimes, not all the time because I am quicker at it, that's me being honest, but you know, I know it sounds silly as well, but making the dinner while I'm editing a video, making the dinner while I'm, you know, making sure that the amended stuff that has come through from a brand, if a brand's rejected stuff, I have to then amend it, I have to then go and reshoot while Spencer can help me do those things. So Spencer is essentially helping me so much. So without him, I wouldn't be able to juggle everything. I wouldn't. I could not be on top of this house, cook food, look after Renalia, do all of the content that I do all of the work, manage the honey store Instagram, all these other things, sending out orders. I wouldn't be able to do all of it and keep the house tidy as well as working and being a mum. I couldn't. So there you go. We are managing work. We are just managing work. Sometimes I will finish work at like 9 o'clock in the evenings, but Spencer has definitely said to me that lately, I need you to switch your phone off at like 7:30. You know, upload some TikToks or whatever here and there, but I want to be present with you. And I do understand that. If there's amendments and stuff that basically, like yesterday when we went to London, I couldn't really be on my phone because I was obviously watching Renalia and we were out and about. So when I came home, there was extra work bits that I needed to do, like some story content that had been rejected and I needed to reshoot, making sure that, you know, because obviously the launch for the honey store is going so well. We also have to talk to designers. We also have to talk to what the next launches are, whether we're going to go down the makeup and clothing route. Talking all of those things, that's something which, again, I need the support. So yeah, me and Spencer are definitely a partnership and a team. And I think it's really important to talk about those things because I feel like we need to break this gender gap of like, women should speak about that they're successful and they earn money and we should all champion that and we should all go yes as much as we do for men. Anyway, that's a whole other topic. So next question is, sorry, I'm looking down again. Breastfeeding update. Love how open you are. Breastfeeding update. So I have got a weaning video that's going to go live, I think Tuesday, essentially, hopefully. No, it won't, scrap that. It'll go up next week. So it'll go up next Saturday. So not Tuesday's video, it'll be Saturday's video. Because I've got a new high chair coming because the other high chairs just weren't working. So very exciting. We have been weaning for nearly a month now, maybe. I think nearly a month, yeah. And with breastfeeding, I was really confused as to how the weaning and the food and the milk would work. And that's something which I really needed some help. So I was DMing loads of people like SR Nutrition, Feed, Eat, Speak, all of the people on Instagram, Solid Starts. I had a Zoom call with Solid Starts. Can you actually quite cope? But I will talk to you about that all in the video. And I was very, very lucky, very privileged for that. And yeah, so I thought that the breastfeeding would really drop off. However, because it's been hot, obviously not now, it's snowing today, let's just not talk about it, what is going on. The English weather, we don't know whether we're coming or going, but I thought the breastfeeding would completely stop. It actually got more, like she was feeding more, and I don't know whether it was because she was eating and she wanted more fluid. It's a really random one. I thought it was just completely not drop, no I didn't, because obviously I know that she'll eventually wean herself and obviously by a year's time, essentially, however it goes. But she started feeding more and I was like, does she like my milk? Is it because my milk's sweet and she doesn't like the food we're giving her? But it's a whole journey. Food under one is just for fun, but also there is that level of introducing them to new food so that after one, they've got these eclectic flavors in their mouth and they have that palate so that at 1 year of age, they do understand the foods because yes, it's food under one just for fun, but also there is an element that in the book that we're following, it does say it is food under one is for fun, but also I could read the exact blurb, but I'm not going to go get the book, but basically says that it's important to also get them try new things. But she doesn't eat loads. She was going through a phase where she was eating loads and then it's dropped off and she's got a bit more like, don't really want this now. Like, she loves broccoli. Like this morning I gave her in the book butter bean, spinach and strawberry mixed together, hates it. Apparently it's meant to make their mouth go wild, like, oh, what is this? But it's good for them to try flavours that aren't necessarily combinations. Gave her a strawberry. She didn't really love the strawberry. She's had strawberry 2 times now. I gave her broccoli and pepper, loves it. I'm like, okay, princess, you haven't got mum's sweet tooth. But again, it's just, apparently they can try things up to 10 times before they like it. So yeah, it's really exciting. Breastfeeding update, I feel like I'm so comfortable now. It's amazing. It's so crazy to see what I actually went through. I know obviously so many women go through way worse, but with the tongue tie situation and the pain and the feeding, the engorgement, the oversupply, the fast flow, the reflux from me not having my flow under control, you know, I still can't believe we're here now. Like, I feel so grateful that I just feel so comfortable in myself. And I know that, you know, it changes for every child. Like, every child's different with their latch and all those different things, and your supply changes completely. But I will say one thing. Someone told me, like, when you get to like 12 weeks, it'll all like level itself out. Yeah, I still leak so much on the other breast when I'm feeding. Like, I literally have to like press, and sometimes in the night I'm so tired and I have to go press it in to stop it from leaking. But my mum said that leveled out the more children she had, but I don't know. Maybe it's just my genetics, it's from my mum. But yeah, that's another question answered. Horror, me always having to delete stuff. Let's just not talk about it. By the way, this is the old stock of the honey store, because you see how you've got something they don't. Oh no, this isn't the old stock. No, it's not. This isn't the old stock. Blessed and Grateful's down there. You've got something they don't up here. Sorry. That was me being really, really dopey. Let's just ignore me. I've got baby brain still. I'm actually wearing a small and it looks really oversized today. So I'm just saying, I'm going to speak all about my brand though, because I've got some things to address. That's absolutely fine. Okay, mistakes you've made while owning your business. Where do I start? Okay, right, let's talk about it. Firstly and foremost, I feel like I have a massive apology to people out there who are of size 14 to 16. I had zero, and I don't care what anyone says about the fact that I own a business and I should have known these things. People make mistakes in business. I have never been trained into how to start a small company. I've never known about clothing. I didn't study fashion. I didn't study anything. And yet, okay, naive of me, but when someone's doing the measurement chart and sends me the measurement chart, I'm like, oh, okay, it says XL on there and it says that size 14 to 16 is extra large. That's very wrong, very wrong. I see other people's brands still have extra large as 14 to 16. However, I did not know that the average size in the UK was size 16. Did I know that? No. Is that naive of me? Yes. Is that maybe stupid of me to not go research it? Yes. Is that a mistake I've owned and learned from? Yes. Oh my God. That's the most amazing thing about having feedback from you guys and learning. Like, I love growing. I love learning. I hold my hands up to mistakes I made. I hold myself accountable. But also, our extra large isn't a size 14 to 16. I would say it's an 18 to 20. I would say that definitely in the t-shirts, they're oversized. I made a mistake in my first YouTube video of launching my clothing brand that, oh, we got to size at 16. No, we don't. We definitely got up to bigger sizes, because actually this is a size small, and I would 110% say an extra small is still baggy on me, and I'm like a 6'8". I would say I'm an 8, and I like things oversized. So everything of ours, like my mum is normally a size 12 and she wears a size small. So how does that work? Do you know what I mean? Our extra large can't be a size 14 to 16 if my mum's normally a 12, 10, 12. She's 10, 12. She fluctuates with menopause and just hormonal. I would say she's more of a 10 than she is a 12, but you know, I fluctuate with water weight, water retention, times of the month, etc. Haven't had that yet back because of breastfeeding, but that's one mistake I made. But also, I'm glad I made it, because I didn't know that, and I wouldn't have known that if I wasn't educated. And also, we paid this lady to do all the specs, and she's amazing, love her so much, and she had to basically literally design this whole thing from scratch, like all of the drop of everything, the hood, everything, you know, by millimeter, centimeter, inches. And when she sent me the chart, it says 14 to 16, but we have dual sizes. So an extra small can go from a 4 to an 8. We have dual sizes where it's completely dependent on your body shape, on your chest area, on all those different things. So I've taken that off the website. An extra large is not a size 14 to 16. An extra large has the measurements there. They're the smallest measurements across it. So I would definitely say, because we do returns, it is definitely something I would order. I mean, we've had a lot of customer feedback of people actually ordering extra larges and saying, can I exchange for a large? So we've exchanged quite a few extra larges for a large. We've not actually had anyone come back and say that it was too small. Someone said that they didn't like the fit of it on them, but it was only because of their bust size. They didn't like the way it fit on them, but that's standard of what you would get, you know, standard of what you'd get. But she didn't say that it was too small for her, and she was an 18. So really positive stuff. It is definitely something we're going to take into consideration for the next drop. That's something that we're working on. Obviously, behind the scenes, it was really stressful because I was getting so much hate about the fact that I'd said about this size 16, and I was like, I understand holding someone accountable, but I also don't think that hate is ever the right way. I think that if it comes from a good place, I never went, extra large, like I was never like that. I was naive and I didn't know, and I hold my hands up to that. And I think, you know, I was getting inundated with hate on TikTok, like so much, and people being like, you're not inclusive. I'll go on to that in my next question. By the way, thank you guys for so many of your orders. Like, we've literally sold so many boxes and boxes of things, and I'm so grateful. Like, we're shifting so much of the stock, and I feel so grateful that you guys love it, and you guys receiving it and saying how amazing the quality is and how it washes so amazingly. And that's because we wanted to get organic cotton, we wanted to get recycled polyester, and we wanted to have a brand that stays with you. You know, you could go and spend, that's another thing that a lot of people said about the prices, but I stand by the prices because of the fact it's sustainable and the fact that it's of good quality. You know, yes, okay, we can go to Primark. Don't get me wrong, I love a Primark haul, I do. And obviously I only have a 9-piece clothing collection, so I am still gonna shop for other things from fast fashion brands, because fast fashion brands are accessible at the moment. But I do think we're moving to a more sustainable route in the end, because people want things that last. And people were saying to me, Nike and Boohoo don't charge that for a hoodie. And I'm like, yeah, because of the ethics behind what they are spending. They can afford to buy their products for £1 and sell it for £10 and make a profit because of the material and because of where they're getting them from. Everything behind the company and what we're driving towards, we're not, you know, where we want to be right now, but planting a tree for every single sale, making sure that we got complete stats to a standard. The whole of the factory where we got everything from, we actually had to get the audits looked through, because it has to be audited that it's completely, you know, the pay is ethical, everything that they're treated with is ethical, their working standards and everything that they're working in, their conditions, is ethical and sustainable as such. So, you know, it's something which we're working towards. Like, all of our mailing bags are obviously sustainable except the poly bags. The poly bags are 100% recyclable, but that's because the factory couldn't do that. So now we're trying to change factories so we can get 100% biodegradable poly bags. So, you know, and I stand by the prices because of the premium we had to pay for them. You know, the vest, the t-shirts, the hoodie, the joggers, £42, right? I swear it should be more accessible and it should be cheaper to get organic cotton and things like that. I'm a small business. I can't afford to buy 20,000 units of joggers and bring it down to £5. I can't. And if I bought this from China, I could get it for £2. I've had to pay designers to do this, to make sure. I've had to pay the factory a premium. I've had to pay it for it to be sent over here in a more sustainable way. You know, if it was coming over by air, brilliant, would have come quicker. But no, that's not as sustainable because of the CO2 emissions and all those different things. You know, there's so many things behind the scenes which I fully think are justifiable for the price. And I understand that I'm not saying it's completely affordable where everyone can attain it. However, you can buy 4 hoodies from Primark for £10. That's £40. One of our hoodies is 48. Our hoodie is going to last longer than those 4 hoodies because of the quality of the product. And that's what I stand by. I stand by the fact that it's a good quality product, that you will only have to buy one of them and it'll last, you know? And I wanted to start my fashion clothing line like that, and that's how I wanted to do. And that's not me saying that I don't like fast fashion, because obviously I'm not completely sustainable as a person. I'm not, you know, I don't understand enough about it, and that's what I want to do. But also, yeah, that's me going off on a tangent, but I fully stand by that price. I do stand by that price because of everything. Regarding inclusivity, I got a lot of hate about the inclusivity of the sizes. Again, it's like gluten and dairy-free stuff. It's so expensive because it needs to be product supply and demand. There's not that many people wanting that at that moment. I didn't know that we were going to want double XL and triple XL. Everything is obviously oversized, but I didn't know that we were going to need that, and that's feedback from you guys. It would be a massive risk of thousands and thousands of pounds to buy these other sizes of clothing if no one wanted them. And I know that that's not right, saying that, oh, people will want the extra small, because, you know, actually the majority of the stock has actually been, I would say, majority of the sizes were small, medium and XL. Those were the masses of sizes that are sold out. And that's why we had to get a brand new set of restock coming. I would definitely say that I understand that that's not right, but it's a massive risk for a small company to go, okay, we're going to have 4XL and go up to this size and this size, because it's really hard to find manufacturers that will do those sizes of the material that you want without charging a premium for the sizes, because they're going to say, right, this is extra amount of fabric, I'm going to charge you this. And I'm a small company, I'm run by myself. It is impossible to please everyone. And I don't want to segregate people, because I have so many of my subscribers that want to buy these things that are, you know, those sizes, and I need to incorporate that. But it's still a massive, massive learning curve. And also it's a massive business move that I need to work out regarding return, all those things. You know, I could be at a loss here. I've got to also make sure that this is working for me. I understand that I need to be inclusive, and that's something I need to drive towards, but I'm just explaining the whole reason behind it. So yeah, hope that makes sense. I really do. And I hope that no one's offended. And you know, it's something I'm working towards, and it's something I want to do. Maybe whether that's we make things an extra larger fit of things and make it a more oversized, it's more accessible for others. But you know, as much as I had people attacking me that I didn't put size 22 and 24 and 26 in there, you know, I didn't cater for size 2 and size 4, and there are people out there that are those sizes. And you know, I'm just saying that it has to range the whole way, if you know what I mean. Sorry, I feel like I went on a massive tangent then. Okay, so next question. How is Renalia doing with weaning? Sorry if I answered this a little bit earlier. She really loves food. She loves different flavors and textures. We are following this book called How to Wean Your Baby, and there are loads of different textures and flavors in there, which are slightly like I said, butter beans, spinach and strawberry. You would never put that together, blended, as well as handheld stuff. So Charlotte does a mixture of handheld stuff, purees, and not purees necessarily, but mashed more so, just to give them different textures and flavors in their mouth, and also so they are aware of using spoons and things like that. I will update you in the weaning video, but it's amazing, it's really exciting, but obviously it's a journey. There's lots of little peaks and troughs, and that's normal. So yeah, I will be explaining that in that video. Would you consider moving near your mum? Oh, I'd love to be near my mum. However, I would never move away from Brighton. Me and Spencer are obsessed with this place. I grew up here. I've fallen so much more back in love with it since having Renalia and since meeting Spencer, because he loved this place so much. He used to come here with his nan and granddad so much, and his nan always tells me that every time they'd walk along the seafront, she's 93, and she'd always tell me, you know, Spencer always told me, he turned to me when we were walking along the seafront saying, Nan, I'm gonna live here when I'm older. And I can't believe that he was that young and we met, and we literally are from places which are like 2.5 hours away from each other, and we met, and I'm from Brighton. I've brought him back here, and his granddad used to drive the Brighton and Hove buses, and his granddad always wanted to get back to Brighton but never got to before he sadly passed. So it feels like it's a full circle. It feels amazing. So I would never move away from here. I would do anything for my mum to live closer. It's an 1.5 hour straight drive, but it just does feel so far. And especially now me and my mum have found our relationship, and we are closer than we've ever been, and we've got through so much together. I find it really hard that she's not here. I find it really, really hard. But you never know. You never know. Maybe I'll one day be lucky enough to buy her a house or something down here, or I don't know, an annex in our house. You know, how amazing would that be? Like, what a dream. What a dream to be able to have my mum more. And obviously as Freya's getting older, Freya's going to go to secondary school, and she's not going to have, Freya's going to be not wanting to be around my mum so much, and my mum will come down here more. So yeah. And because my mum does travel down here more, I do give her money for some petrol sometimes, because she does drive to see me. She's always like, don't you dare. I'm coming to see my daughter and my granddaughter and my son-in-law. But I always feel like, because at the moment we're not traveling so much to see her, but we're lucky that she lives in New Forest. We get to take Renalia there. They've got rabbits, you know, they just bought rabbits, rescued rabbits. But, you know, there's the horses and everything down there, so it's amazing. But at the moment we're not doing that drive that much, which we need to. But yeah, okay. Is there anything in parenting you said you wouldn't do that you have? No, I made so much point of saying to Spencer, let's never judge parents, because when Renee is here, we will definitely make mistakes. We will definitely do things we need to. Like, I always thought when I was younger, like, oh, I won't show my children so much screen time, but actually sometimes they are aids. They're not, I wouldn't ever put her in front of the TV and be like, sit in front of the TV because I don't want to play with you or something like that. But there are times when that will only calm her down, and you know, I'm not ever going to judge a parent until I've been in that position. Like yesterday on the train, she needed to watch a bit of Beauty and the Beast because she was going to make it a riot for everyone on the train. She was bored and she wanted to watch some Disney songs, and I'm never going to be like, don't. There are certain shows that I don't think I will show her, like certain things, because of certain, like, I don't even know, I'm not judging anyone or anything like that, but yeah, I definitely knew to not be judgmental, because I know that when your baby's here and whatever you can do, and obviously times have changed, we've evolved, you know. My older brother was the one that sat in front of the TV the most when my parents were struggling to make ends meet, and he's the most intelligent out of all of us, so it is what it is. You know, you have to grow with the times of what you're at, and also you do whatever you can to help your baby and make sure that they're enjoying themselves. And also as a parent, you have to make things work, especially when you're juggling work and living at home and being around your baby. I don't think I've got any other questions. So yeah, let's be less judgmental. I wish we'd all stick together a bit more. No, I think that was a really long Q&A, so I'm really sorry. And I've only got 1 minute left on my memory card, so I'm definitely gonna end this here. But I love you guys so much. Thank you for supporting the Honey Store. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for supporting my family. Thank you for being so amazing and allowing me to do the dream job I get to do every day because of you guys. Yeah, I love you guys so much. And until next time, I will see you on Tuesday in a new video. I love you guys. See you later. Bye, angels. Oh, love you.